sorry.
You're fine, no? Now it's red.
I guess I'm an elderly, right? I consider an elderly person. I am 67, I consider elderly. It's kind of silly.
I didn't know what to do with the call-in, Bruce. Is it just the regular number, because that is your host?
Hi, Bruce. How are you?
Good.
Is your phone working?
I'm not sure. I'm going to take it.
Welcome and thank you for choosing freeconferencecall.com. You're helping people around the world communicate for free. Please enter your access code. If you are the host, press star now. Please enter your PIN. Thank you. There are 13 participants in the conference. Please announce yourself.
Well,
Hi, sorry, we'll be with you in 1 minute. The mayor will be in. We're delayed another meeting.
no.
Catch your breath.
Come again?
You're on.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, we ready?
Just 1 second. I just want to try this again.
Where's the,
What, agenda?
yes, ma'am. You have it? Thank you so much. Okay, thank you so much. Perfect. Thank you. Tell me when we're ready.
You're going to ask for what you heard on that.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, give me 1 second. Mayor, I am ready if you are ready.
Okay. You ready? Okay. Oh,
To mute conference participants, press 1. To mute conference participants, all participants are muted and they can unmute themselves.
good evening, everyone. Welcome to the mayor and council meeting for Monday, November 30th, 2020. I apologize for us starting a few minutes late. Borough Administrator Bose and I were in a meeting that ran over its time limit that we unfortunately had. So anyway, let's get going. Roll call, please.
Okay, regular meeting, November 30th, 2020. Mayor Dillon.
Here.
Councilman Gutwetter.
Did you have to star star 6?
They do.
Okay. Star 6 to unmute, please.
Councilman Gutwetter.
Here.
Okay, Councilman Jones.
Here.
Councilman Kilman.
Here.
Councilman Verdoni. Councilman Verdoni. Councilman Weber?
Here.
Okay, got you both. Councilwoman Woods?
Here.
Thank you. All right, well, flag salute. We'll ask Borough Attorney to lead us, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands under God, indivisible, with justice and
The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of all citizens to have advance notice of and to attend all meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting the public is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of this Act, notice of this meeting of the Mayor and Council was published in the Legal App section of the Bergen Record on Wednesday, January 8th, 2020. Notice that this meeting is being held telephonically and streamed on YouTube was published in the Bergen Record and Suburban News on November 18th, 2020, and posted on the Borough website and front door to Borough Hall. Okay, go on to approval of minutes.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I move that the meeting minutes from Monday, the work session from Monday, November 9th, be approved.
I second, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Any comments on the minutes? Done? Roll call, please.
Councilman Gottwetter?
Yes.
Councilman Jones?
Yes.
Councilman Kilman?
Yes.
Councilman Rodoni?
Yes.
Councilman Weber?
Yes.
Councilwoman Woods?
Yes.
Thank you. Communications?
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. I'd like to make a motion to enter into the record the communications as listed on the tonight's agenda.
I second.
Thank you. Do we have any comments on the communications?
Madam Mayor, I'd just like to congratulate you and Borough Administrator Jose for pursuing these grants. I mean, these are just wonderful things, and I think you guys should be commended on the work that you do to go and pursue these grants and obtain them for the town.
Thank you. And the grant that Councilman Weber is referring to is the Ramsey is the recipient of New Jersey Department of Transportation Municipal Aid Program. We're receiving $210,000 for Prospect Street, Mechanic Street, Park and Ride, and Canterbury Drive for milling and repaving of those streets. Okay, roll call, please.
Councilman Gottwetter?
Yes.
Councilman Jones?
Yes.
Councilman Kilman?
Yes.
Councilman Rodoni?
Yes.
Councilman Weber?
Yes.
Councilwoman Woods?
Yes.
Thank you. Move on to public comment. Anyone wishing to address the governing body, please step up to your telephone and give your name, spelling the last name and address as a courtesy to all present. Please speak in an audible tone and address your comments to the chair. There will be a 5-minute time limit per speaker unless reduced because of the volume of business on the agenda. Please note, public comment is your time. Out of respect and fairness to all present, there will be no interruptions or questions answered during your time. No time shall be ceded to anyone else, and no time shall be saved for later use. Any responses may be given during the governing body's comments later in the evening or as directed by the chair. The Borough Clerk is the official timekeeper and will let everybody know when, whoever the speaker is, you have 30 seconds remaining. Okay, if you'd like to speak, do *6 to unmute your phone. Okay, second call for public comment.
Hello?
Hello?
Hi. My name is Nicholas Ott.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Good evening. My name is Nicholas Ott, and I live on Grove Street in Ramsey. I'd like to talk a bit tonight about the Putting Ramsey First political campaign. PuttingRamseyFirst.com is the official campaign page for the Gottwetter-Cusick campaign from this month's town council election. The website states that it is paid for by Ramsey Republican Campaign. Leading up to the election, the Putting Ramsey First Facebook page published a 6-part series titled Who Are Guy Dobson and Frank Schoaf? The goal of this series was to tie Gutwetter and Cusick's opponents to Ramsey Alliance for Social Equity, RACE. I'm the president of RACE. I have addressed this governing body before regarding RACE, explaining very clearly what we are about. Yet despite that, Putting Ramsey First used inflammatory and hyperbolic rhetoric in order to smear RACE. I would like to take this opportunity to explain again what RACE's mission is. RACE is an organization whose objective it is to educate the community about human rights issues. We understand and spread the word about the prevalence of social inequities and injustices in our society. We also try to teach our community members to love and appreciate one another's cultures and differences. It is our hope that through this, members of our community will be encouraged to join us in taking nonviolent action towards making this community safe and fair for all the people. All the people, no matter who they are or where they came from. Because when you love someone and their culture, you will fight for their rights. Does smearing an organization like RACE really align with Putting Ramsey First? If you ask me, that is only putting folks who reject social progress first. That is only putting white straight folks first. Well, white straight folks do not own Ramsey. You alone are not Ramsey. All of us together are Ramsey. So Councilman Gutwetter and Councilwoman-elect Cusick, how about you actually put all the people of Ramsey first? Condemn the dishonest attacks smearing RACE and your opponents and their families. Join us on the right side of history, or Ramsey will vote you out of the way of progress. It is time Ramsey is governed like a democracy, where all of the people have their voices heard and are represented. A democracy where there is actually public discourse and debate regarding what legislation is passed and what is not. Ramsey sees your undemocratic political tactics, and you were elected by the smallest margin ever in this town. The days of one-party rule in Ramsey are numbered, unless you prove you represent all members of this community. So far, you have not. I would love for you to prove me wrong. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Haas. Okay, anyone else like to speak? Can you give your name and your address, please?
Hi, my name is Jill Schoaf, and I live at 300 Lakeside Drive. I've lived in Ramsey for about 26 years, 23 of them as a homeowner. I am the Ramsey resident that Putting Ramsey First chose to vilify in order to win 2 council seats this November. On their official election Facebook page, they asked, "Who is Jill Schoaf?" They attempted to portray me as an extreme left-wing protester, lawless in her activist ways. Their point? How can Frank Schoaf, my husband, a candidate for council, be trusted with a wife with questionable, in their opinion, political leanings? As I said in my Facebook statement, I am proud of every time I stood up and spoke out for the injustices I see happening in our society. I am proud to speak up and demand police reform so that innocent people are no longer murdered by the ones that are supposed to protect and serve them. I am proud I stood with New York City Black Lives Matter protesters to demand the New York State Legislature pass the GREET Act. I am proud of standing up and saying it is morally reprehensible and downright evil to separate children from their parents and put them in cages. I am proud to say that climate change is real, and we must act now in order to guarantee a future for our children and our planet. I am proud to stand and say women are entitled to make their own choices about their reproductive rights. I am proud to stand up and demand accountability for a corrupt president and administration. And I am proud to be a founding member of RACE, the Ramsey Alliance for Social Equity. What I am not proud of is the times I didn't speak up. Trayvon Martin, Tamir Rice, Michael Brown, Too many names to mention. When George Floyd was murdered, I knew I couldn't be silent any longer, and I will never be silent again. Now, back to putting Ramsey first. It is the official election/re-election committee and Facebook page for Ramsey's Republican Party. All of the members of this council and the mayor are members of the Republican Party. It astounds and disgusts me that not one of you spoke up and said it was wrong to post about a private citizen. Not one of you. For the record, that includes Mayor Deirdre Dillon, council members Peter Kilman, Jane Wood, Bill Jones, Mike Gutwetter, Dover Jones, Harry Weber, and councilperson-elect Judy Kuzik. Not one of you had the integrity to do the right thing and call out the committee for such despicable behavior. By the way, I am not naming the administrator and architect of the Putting Ramsey First page and post because his name is mysteriously absent from the page. But it is a well-known secret he is a former councilman, candidate for freeholder, and active member of St. Paul's Parish. I was an active member of St. Paul's too, and I know several council members and the mayor are active members of that faith community. How do you reconcile the behavior of your party with the faith and teachings of your church? Just a rhetorical question. I don't know all the members of the council, but I know several. With some of them, I'm not surprised they didn't speak up. But the others, particularly Harry Weber and Deirdre Dillon, you were my neighbors. I considered you my friend. I guess party over friends and also over private citizens that you don't agree with? That's your credo? Yuck. Deirdre, I often supported you in conversations with people, and I said, it's really hard being a woman as a mayor, and she's doing a good job. That's not going to happen anymore. Harry, I have so much respect for you. It's all very sad to me. In my Facebook post, I demanded an apology and that Councilman Gutwetter and Councilwoman-elect Judy Kuzik resign. I stand by that. Politicians that don't work for all their citizens have no right to hold the office and clearly don't have the respect for it either. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Show. Anyone else for public comment? Okay. Last call for public comment. Okay, not hearing, we will close public comment. All right. We have no public hearing for final consideration of the ordinances. Appointments, I hereby appoint Joseph Manfredonia to the Ramsey Volunteer Fire Department. Do we have consent resolutions?
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. You resolve that resolutions 180-2020 through and including 188-2020, having been considered by the governing body of the Borough of Ramsey, be and are hereby passed and approved. There are no special permits or block party requests.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay.
Councilman Jones.
Thank you. Concerning consent resolution 183-2020, is there anyone from the public who wants to be heard on this? And this is authorized in the liquor license transfer for license 0248-33-007-008, hereto issued to Ramsey Restaurant LLC, to Hop Ramsey LLC, doing business at Houlihan's, for the premises located at 706 Route 17 North. Okay, not hearing anyone. Could we have roll call, please?
Councilman Gutwetter.
Yes.
Councilman Jones.
Yes.
Councilman Kilman. Councilman Kilman?
Yes. Yes.
Councilman?
Yes.
Thank you. Councilman Verdoni?
Yes.
Councilman Weber?
Yes.
Councilwoman Woods?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, no special presentations. So we have committee and liaison reports. Finance Administration, Councilman Gutwetter.
Thank you again, Madam Mayor. To start off, I have to congratulate Joe Manfredonia as a regular member of the Ramsey Volunteer Fire Department. As for the library board, Director Latham is monitoring announcements from Governor Murphy, the Ramsey Board of Health, and other libraries to determine if the reopening stand can remain as is or be rolled back to eliminate computer access, reduce hours, or to go to curbside pickup of items. Moving forward, however, the library will resume selling Friends of the Library used books items with donations encouraged items that are taken. There's a winter reading challenge program for children ages 5 to 12. Children are encouraged to read at least 30 minutes per day and track their reading online for a chance at a $50 Amazon gift card. There are 2 donation bins at the library, one for Toys for Tots and the other for leftover Halloween candy to be donated to veterans. And winter programs and events are on the library's event calendar on their website. As to the Recreation Commission, the rec winter basketball and wrestling programs have been canceled due to COVID-19, and any updates will be provided should things change. A spring bocce league is being discussed with Power, and to look forward to something, we have the Home Run Derby being planned for the Saturday in June before Father's Day. And that's it for my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Public Safety, Councilman Weber.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Very brief. Tonight, I just wanted to congratulate the Environmental Commission again for they had the final 5 points needed to reach the 150 points required to attain the bronze level of the Sustainable New Jersey status level. They're going to continue to work to pursue the silver, which is very, very difficult to obtain. But congratulations to them on all of their efforts. I'd also like to congratulate Joe Manfredonia, following his dad's footsteps, who's given so much to the community as chief of the rescue for many, many years. And finally, I just wanted to mention that this Saturday we have Home for the Holidays that the Ramsey Fire Department is hosting, and should be a wonderful event. Thank you.
Thank you. Building, Planning, and Zoning, Councilman Bertoni.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Planning Board met on Tuesday, November 17th, reviewed and approved 3 site plan waivers and a minor subdivision application. The Ramsey Seniors and the Senior Center, Ramsey Seniors continue to do well with Zoom virtual classes. No major health, lack of food, or any other issues have been identified. VFW Post on Veterans Day, the Ramsey VFW Post successfully hosted a socially distanced Veterans Day ceremony at Veterans Park. They thank all those who attended and for their support. The VFW completed their annual poppy sale fundraiser, which started October 15th and ended on November 15th. They did as well as could be expected considering the COVID-19 pandemic circumstances. Ramsey Responds held their annual frozen turkeys and food collection on Friday, November 20th in the garage behind St. Paul's Church. As Mayor Dillon covered in our November 24th COVID-19 message, Ramsey Response was able to provide 125 complete Thanksgiving Day meals to feed approximately 500 people. Harris Rec, Ramsey Response President, asked me to thank everyone who donated and the volunteers who came out to sort, organize, and deliver the donation. Ramsey Response continues to serve Ramsey families in need by providing food and financial assistance. The needs and efforts are ongoing and donations are always needed. For more information, check out their website, RamseyResponds.com. And I want to also thank and congratulate Joe Manfredonia on his appointment to the Ramsey Fire Department. That's all I have. Thank you.
Councilman Kilman. Utilities, Buildings, and Grounds.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. My report will be brief. Regarding the Zoning Board of Adjustments, the Board of Public Works, and the Shade Tree Commission, there's nothing out of the ordinary to report. All projects are on schedule. I just want to bring attention that the Zoning Board will be meeting in December on Wednesday the 16th. Board of Public Works will be meeting on December 21st. And Shade Tree will be meeting on December 17th. And I also want to congratulate Joe Manfredonia on his appointment to the Ramsey Volunteer Fire Department. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Public and Governmental Relations, Councilman Jones.
Thank you, Mary Dillon. I want to thank and welcome Joe Macedonia to the fire department, and congratulate him on volunteering. I want to make a special note and announcement at this time that there will be one and only one meeting in December. It will be the third Wednesday, December 16th. Different night, but with holiday schedules as they are in December, that was the night that made the most sense. So, for the public listening, please note one meeting in December on December 16th. I would like to wish everyone a happy and safe holiday season as we approach. I would urge everyone to please shop local, support the local businesses. This is a make or break time for many of them, the holiday season. We have such a wide variety and diverse group of businesses and business owners in our community. We're offering so many different goods and services. It's not just what you see on Main Street or the highway. These are your neighbors. I would encourage everyone to go to the Ramsey Chamber of Commerce website and look at anything you can do. And, you know, as people often mention to me or question why there might be a proliferation of certain businesses on Main Street, I say, well, how many boxes did you get from Amazon today? People continue to shop that way. The personal services will be the only thing that we'll see left in town, and local businesses, which I believe are the heart and soul of our community, will be gone. So please continue to support local and shop local, and go to the Ramsey Chamber website and see any of those businesses you may support this holiday season or every day of the year. The Ramsey's Farmers Market is shifted to its winter schedule for December and will continue outdoors at the train station lot for the remainder of the winter season through to the spring. If you haven't already, I believe voting is still open for to vote on Bethesda Bergen for the Ramsey's Farmers Market and the Ramsey Pool. You know, both are finalists. And I was able to do that the other day. I believe it's still open through today. It might be the last day. That's all I have for my comments at this time. And again, I just wish everyone a happy and safe holiday season.
Thank you. Health, Education, Social Services, Councilwoman Woods.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I would like to congratulate and thank Joseph Macedonia on his appointment and really appreciate his service on the Ramsey Volunteer Fire Department. The Board of Health, the last Board of Health meeting was held Thursday, November 12th, and increases in COVID diagnosis and hospitalizations were discussed at length. Every effort is being made to ensure mask compliance and social distancing rules are being adhered to. The response from businesses in town has been absolutely terrific. The flu clinic was a complete success. Very proud. Well done. The discussion of legislation, specifically the legalization of marijuana, was discussed with disappointment after so much progress has been made on the reduction of vaping. But we will continue to monitor what that means for our community. The Ramsey Board of Education held their meeting on November 24th. The Board of Ed had a presentation on inherent bias from Vince DeLuca from the New Jersey School Board Association. He referenced studies from across the country which seem to conclude that negative results regarding attendance, tardiness, and disciplinary issues below AP class presence and general grading discrepancies were a result of inherent bias. Dr. Matteo discussed phase 2 opening plans in depth with a much improved schedule, and everybody agreed that it will greatly improve the students' progress. The fall sports teams were very successful. Football had an exciting win on senior night and were 6-1 for the season, and both the girls, boys, and soccer teams have won their state sectionals, so we're very proud of them. I would encourage all members of our community to stay plugged into the Board of Ed and watch the meetings on YouTube. We all have a responsibility to our schools, especially since 69% of your tax dollars go to the Board of Ed. The next meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, December 15th at 7:30 p.m. in the scheduled for in the Ramsey High School cafeteria, but you can watch it on YouTube. The design review board did not hold a meeting this month because there were no new applications. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. For my comments, congratulations to the Ramsey Environmental Commission on the bronze status. I know a lot of work goes into that, and it's truly appreciated. Thank you. Congratulations to Joe Manfredonia for joining the Ramsey Volunteer Fire Department. Joe is a longtime member of the Ramsey Rescue Squad. As Councilman, Weber mentioned, indoor sports for children, high school, and adult league will be discontinued this Friday pursuant to the governor's order. Outdoor gatherings will be limited to 25 people starting next Monday pursuant to the governor's order. And want to let everybody know, the Bergen County will be having COVID-19 testing at Bergen Community College. It's drive-through. However, you must pre-register in order to go there. And just look at the county website or the borough's website for more information on that. There are many, many dates in December, so we urge everybody to get tested. All right, and that's all I have. Borough Administrator.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. A few items to report tonight. Touch on a couple resolutions on the agenda tonight. Resolution 182 was a budget transfer, which again is a net neutral movement of funds between one appropriation line to another. In this instance, we are transferring $2,500 into the health benefit opt-out line. We had an increase in the number of employees this year electing to opt out of being covered under the borough's health insurance plan. An employee opting out in total saves the borough money, but the line items for health insurance cost and opt-out payments are independent, so we need to transfer money. So while it was a net reduction over budget, we need to move from one account to another. Resolution 187 is a continuation of a pilot or payment in lieu of tax agreement that the borough currently has with Ramsey Senior Citizens Housing LP, which is the Woodlands, whereby we receive a payment in lieu of property taxes on the senior affordable housing project. The Woodlands ownership is doing a refinancing and extension of its loan maturity with the New Jersey Housing and Mortgage Finance Agency. And to coordinate with that extended borrowing term, the pilot agreement is recommended to be extended, and this property is part of the borough's inventory of qualified affordable housing credits. A couple comments on ordinances coming up for introduction. First off, the ordinance that will be introduced tonight for purchase of property of 13 North Central. As discussed in the past and in my report last meeting, we are recommending purchase of the property at 13 North Central Avenue. We've had an appraisal performed and recommend the mayor and council authorize the purchase of this property through the borough's Affordable Housing Trust Fund.
Folks, if you're listening in the public, please mute your phone. We're getting feedback. Thank you.
The Affordable Housing Trust Fund for an appraised value of $350,000. This Affordable Housing Trust Fund is independent of the borough budget and has no impact on property taxes. As with all New Jersey municipalities, the Affordable Trust Fund is funded through development fees with the specific purpose of providing affordable and qualified housing to residents. The property purchase would be consistent with the borough's previously adopted spending plan, and should the governing body move forward with acquiring the property similar to the Airmont Woods project, we would look to an entity like Ramsey Housing and or United Way of Bergen County to develop the project. This is a much smaller property with only a single family home currently, so this will be a small qualified housing opportunity. While the borough has met its obligations under our settlement agreement with Fair Share Housing, we still may elect as part of our housing element and spending plan to add qualified housing throughout the borough in accordance with our affordable housing ordinances, and the introduction and potential adoption of this ordinance would do just that. The second ordinance to be introduced tonight is the capital improvement ordinance. And as discussed in my budget and financial update at the last meeting, we've held off on allocating the budgeted capital improvement funds since the onset of COVID-19. We're recommending an ordinance to allocate some of these previously budgeted funds for necessary equipment and infrastructure funding at this time. This ordinance is for $375,000, which will leave the borough with a balance of $232,757 still remaining in our capital improvement fund for future allocation. The ordinance includes the following: funding for the purchase of PP&E, SCBA cylinders and related equipment for the Ramsey Volunteer Fire Department in the amount of $50,000. Funding for the purchase of PP&E, FCBA cylinders and related equipment for the Ramsey Rescue Squad in the amount of $50,000. Funding for the purchase of a body camera and vehicle camera system with related hardware and software system for the Ramsey Police Department in an amount of $70,000. The total estimated cost of the system is approximately $140,000. This expenditure, however, qualifies for the use of forfeiture funds held by the Bergen County Prosecutor's Office, and the Ramsey Police Department will be requesting approval of its use for the balance of the funding for this purchase, which is under the new state laws being mandated throughout the state. Funding for the purchase and upgrade replacement of the servers and related equipment at Borough Hall and the Ramsey Police Station, including installation, integration, and setup for a total of $205,000 in the ordinance. The project total cost is approximately $280,000. The borough had previously allocated $75,000 for the initial phase earlier in the year, which has been postponed until now. This equipment is past its 7-year cycle of service agreement, and with continued cybersecurity risk, this investment in the latest system we feel is a prudent approach and recommendation. I would also just mention, as was commented on earlier during the communications, that the borough did apply for and receive successfully a grant for $210,000 for the NJDOT Municipal Aid Project, as mentioned, for Canterbury Prospect and Mechanic Street lot. As we detailed earlier in the year, we were successful last year in obtaining funds under the same program with this area and applied for a second round of funding, which will now provide for the majority of the funding for this project will be scheduled for in 2021. The borough continues to look for ways to mitigate taxpayer costs where possible for qualified necessary infrastructure improvements. This combined $430,000 in non-taxpayer funding for this project is just another example. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. We have Borough Attorney,
Nothing, thank you, Madam Mayor.
Borough Clerk.
Nothing, thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. And then we'll move on to introduction of ordinances. Ordinance 10-2020.
Thank you, Mayor Dillon. Be it resolved that an ordinance entitled an ordinance providing for the purchase of real property within the Borough of Ramsey, Bergen County, New Jersey, from Joseph Mora, and repealing all ordinances heretofore adopted, the provisions of which are inconsistent herewith. Pass first reading by title, and that said ordinance be further considered for final passage and adoption at a regularly scheduled meeting of the Mayor and Council to be held the 16th day of December 2020 at 6:30 p.m. prevailing time, or as soon after the matter can be reached at the municipal building in said borough. Be it further resolved that the borough clerk be, and she hereby is instructed to publish in an official newspaper of the borough in a manner provided by law, a copy of said ordinance, together with the notice of introduction thereof, and notice when the same will be considered for final passage and adoption.
Do we have a second?
I second.
Any comments on this in addition to the remarks given by the Borough Administrator? No? Okay, roll call, please.
No, Madam Mayor, I think he covered it.
Okay, thank you.
Councilman Gottwetter.
Yes.
Councilman Jones.
Yes.
Councilman Kilman.
Yes.
Councilman Verdoni.
Yes.
Councilman Weber.
I am recusing myself due to my involvement with Ramsey Housing.
And Councilwoman Woods.
Yes.
Thank you. Ordinance 11-2020.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. This is introduction of ordinance 11-2020. Be it resolved that an ordinance entitled, an ordinance to authorize capital improvements for the purpose of acquisition of information technology equipment for Borough Hall and Ramsey Police Department, and equipment for various departments in the Borough of Ramsey, Bergen County, New Jersey, and to appropriate the sum of $375,000 to pay the cost thereof. Pass the first reading by title, and that said ordinance be further considered for final passage and adoption at a regular meeting of the Mayor and Council to be held on the 16th day of December 2020, 6:30 p.m. prevailing time, or as soon after as that matter can be reached at the municipal building in said borough. And be it further resolved that the borough clerk be, and she hereby is instructed to publish in an official newspaper of the borough in the manner provided by law a copy of said ordinance. together with notice of introduction thereof, and notice when the same will be considered for final passage and adoption.
Thank you. Do we have a
Second, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman Tillman. Any comment on this in addition to what the Borough Administrator explained during his remarks?
I just want to reiterate that, as elaborated by Borough Administrator Bozay, this ordinance authorizes funds that have already been appropriated by virtue of the Capital Improvement Fund for capital needs of the Ramsey Volunteer Fire Department and Ramsey Rescue Squad for PPE and SCBA cylinders and related equipment, Ramsey Police Department for body camera and vehicle camera system with related hardware and softwares, and for server and related equipment upgrades and replacement installation and setup at Borough Hall and the Ramsey Police Station. This will allocate the budgeted capital improvements fund that have been previously budgeted for necessary equipment.
Okay, thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilman Gottwetter?
Yes.
Councilman Jones?
Yes.
Councilman Tillman?
Yes.
Councilman Verdoni?
Yes.
Councilman Weber?
Yes.
Councilwoman Woods?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, we have no unfinished business. I just want to remind everyone that we have the Home for the Holidays Festival of Lights this Saturday, December 5th, from 6 to 9 p.m. Begin in the Mechanic Street commuter parking lot, go up Prospect Street, and then turn left onto South Island. It is for cars only. There will be no pedestrian traffic. So I hope people can join that celebration. I know the Volunteer Fire Department and the Chamber of Commerce have put a lot of work into it. Okay, do we have any new business?
I would just reiterate what Councilman Jones said in his remarks regarding there is only, as we put in the schedule at the beginning of the year, one meeting in December on the 16th at 6:30, as both he and Councilman Gottwetter read in their ordinances. But just to be clear, it's different. There's only one meeting.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any new business? None? Okay, do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Wonderful. Thank you, everyone. Have a pleasant evening.
Good night.
So it worked, Meredith?
No, it didn't.
Oh, okay.
It was on, Kelly would say that, it was streaming and it would be for a short period.